Happy 111. So yay! It's a special day. I love numbers. I hope all of you guys are having an amazing Wednesday. This is Just for Today, brought to you by Christie and brought to you by Promise Resource Network. When you're on, if you hop on, please let me know. Today I've labeled today expectations. I know when I expect people, places, things, and situations to turn out how I want them to, I have usually a premeditated resentment. So that is what our Just for Today is going to be on. So please let me know that you're out there. Good morning, Stephanie. Happy Wednesday. And any comments that you have, any lived experience around this that you have, please share. We would love to hear it. And also, please share this video, this post, after after we've completed it. Please share it to all your platforms. All right, so just for today, in my recovery journey, sorry guys, in my recovery journey, I have always heard an expectation is a premeditated resentment. I take the statement to suggest that when I have a resentment, I can look at my expectations from a probable source. Here's an example. I have a brother who is less attentive to being prompt than I am. When I make a plan with him that involves meeting at a certain time, I am cooperating in establishing conditions that encourage me to nurse a resentment. On the other hand, when I make a plan with my brother that is based on no expectation of promptness, I feel no resentment. Just for today, I have the right to choose my own standards of conduct, but I do not have the right or the power to impose those standards on others. And then the quote for the day is, I have accepted and I'm beginning to accept other people the way that they are each day. Now I have fewer resentments. So this is kind of like a threefold, right? Resentments, expectations, and acceptance on all of that. Good morning, Pamela. Happy hump day. Thank you for joining. So in my recovery journey, when I started out, before my recovery journey started, I was very angry. I was always very angry and very frustrated at people, right? Family, friends, coworkers, didn't matter. I was always super frustrated because I wasn't getting what I thought I wanted. I wasn't having the control that I thought I needed to have to make the situation be the way that I wanted it to be, right? Here we go. It's all about me, right? No, not at all. It's about my higher power, and it's about acceptance and accepting people where they're at and not holding expectations over them. So I go back to an expectation is a premeditated resentment. In my recovery journey, I had so many people tell me this over and over and over again. It takes me a hot minute to get things usually. So in my recovery journey with my friends, it was a lot easier to practice having less expectations of my friends than it was for my family, right? So just for today, and coming from the family side of it, I wanted to make everyone happy in my family. I wanted this to be like, the people pleaser, all the things, right? Stephanie says, that is hard. I need folks to be on time. Yep, I feel that. I do feel that. But one of the things that I'm learning is and even today, even at 17 years later, when I allow people the opportunity to be where they're at and I'm able to meet them where they're at, then I have no expectations. And in return, I have no resentments. And I don't have these premeditated resentments to where I'm going to get frustrated or get angry over and over and over again, right? I don't know about y'all, but that can be very draining, very, very, very draining to me and my energy. So please, guys, if you're out there, please share your experience on this, whether it be from the family side of addiction or any type of addiction, right? Because addiction is addiction, you know. And I know for me, when I'm expecting things from others, and including myself, when I set high expectations for myself, I usually get really frustrated and resentful at myself, just like I do with everyone else. So what I do to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for this morning, on this beautiful Wednesday morning, um, to be able to heal from that and heal that part of me, I am able to sit back and look at why I feel the need to. I feel like all of these run together: control, expectations, lack of acceptance, lack of faith. Um, right? So, like, all of these combined. So, when I sit down and I do my journaling and I'm looking at why I'm feeling irritated or why I'm feeling frustrated, and why I feel like I need to have that control over other people's actions or thoughts or words, or, um, when I dive deep, a lot of times it has to do with when I was a kid and I grew up in an alcoholic household. I never felt heard and I never felt seen. Pamela says lack of self-care. Very true. Very, very, very true. Because if I'm not filling up my cup and I'm not taking care of myself and doing my meditations in the mornings, doing them in the evenings, and, taking care of myself, whether it be working out or running or walking or grounding myself in nature, then I am susceptible to feeling those resentments and feeling those negative emotions to where I'm not able to see my part in that, right? Because a lot of times when I do my inventory and I'm looking at my part in things and I'm talking to, people in the program and really diving in, I realize and I find that I also play a part in that. So, and a lot of times, like Pamela said, it is lack of self-care. And I can wholeheartedly relate to that statement, right? So if I'm filling up my cup and I'm meeting people where they're at, then I'm able to come with compassion and love and understanding and not have to sit in the expectations and expect people to do what I think they should be doing. Instead, I can come at it from a teacher's perspective or a student's perspective, right? Because we grow and we learn from each other. Sorry, guys, I'm at home today and my kitty loves to talk. So please, you might hear her in the background. And if you do, I'm so sorry. Good morning, Todd. Thank you. Welcome. I'm so happy you hopped on here to see Just for Today. We're talking about expectations, and we're talking about how when we hold expectations over ourselves or over other people, how that becomes how we become resentful, and how having expectations of whether somebody's showing up. So, we're going to get coffee at noon and the person that I mean for coffee shows up at 12:15, right? Well, that's a premeditated resentment for me. Like Pamela and Stephanie were saying, like, being on time is really important. So, we're talking about bringing that acceptance in and accepting that, this is where they're at and that's okay. And we can meet them where they're at, right? Because each person has their own journey. And what my journey looks like doesn't mean that your journey is going to be the same. It's not, our journeys don't look the same. And so that comes and falls into the acceptance. And I know for me in my lived experience that the older I get, the less I want to feel that ickiness, right? The less I want to feel that drama that I can create for myself and that sickness and that insanity, right, for me. And the more I try to hold on to things and the more I try to hold on to people, and, whether it be at work, whether it be at home, whether it be in my friendships, family, whatever type of relationship that I may have, if I'm trying to control that and I'm trying to hold on to that, I become so resentful. And the older that I've gotten, the less I want that chaos and that feeling of insanity in my life. And it's like this stress and this anxious, like feeling anxious all the time because I'm trying to, okay, well, we need to do this and this needs to happen here and we got to go here and we got to, no. And that's how it's always been for me, like in my recovery journey until probably, if to be honest, probably until like my car accident. And then I've had moments of where I've seen the light and I've seen my higher power working in my life, and I've seen other people's, higher power, whether that be source, God, Allah, whoever it may be for you. And I'm able to like step back and I'm able to really see that this life is so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger than me. And I can sit here and I can be resentful because somebody didn't put their shoes away or somebody didn't put their dirty laundry, in the wash or whatever the case may be, or somebody left a dirty sock on the floor. That's happened before. As petty as that sounds, that's happened to me and I've gotten mad. So whatever it is and whatever brings up those negative emotions and those resentments because of the expectations that I've put on people, like I'm able to step back today and just kind of go like, this is bigger than me. This whole life that I've been gifted, that you've been gifted, that we've all been gifted is bigger than all of us. And I know for me in my recovery journey, when I just step back and like Pamela said, when I fill up my cup, when I accept that this is where people are and this is what people are going through, I too realize that sometimes I find myself becoming resentful because of the expectations that I have put on others and not showing them grace and realizing that where they're at in their life and what's going on in their life is giving them the opportunity for growth. And why can't I meet them there? And I try to look, I really, really recently, very recently have tried to really look at it and dive in and meet them where they're at. And also, see how I can be of service to them. And have I experienced that, what they're going through right now? It's one thing that has really hit home for me recently is we're all allowed the opportunity for growth. So who am I to have these expectations of what people are supposed to do or not supposed to do when they could really be going through something and them showing up in their best, it's 40%. Or, if I'm getting, snapped at, or I can tell that somebody's like overwhelmed or anxious, it's like, okay, well, what's behind all that? Why is this happening? So you're feeling this way. So why are you feeling this way? People have done this for me many, many, many times. So who am I not to extend that same grace to others? Right? Who am I to not extend that grace and understand what they're going through and where they're at and how I can be of service to them and how I can be helpful to them? Life is over the last 2 years, I've realized that life is so short to hold grudges and to hold resentments. And I'm not saying that I'm not human and that I have not held many, many, many resentments, because I have, from today to 38 years ago, right? Like my entire life. But today I have tools in my wellness toolbox that I use. And I am able to really step back and, if I find myself trying to control the situation or trying to control people, places, and things, the source for me is usually really good about being like, hey, Christie, right here, check it out. Like, You're driving, right? Like you're running the show here. And I'm able to step back and I'm able to look at where I'm lacking. Am I lacking in my self-care? Am I lacking in my prayer and meditation? Am I lacking as a coworker? Am I lacking as a friend? Am I, lacking as a daughter? Whatever the case may be. And I really am able to sit in that and look at that and let those emotions filter through. Like one of the things is really feeling those emotions and letting that anger out. And then also having outlets. Like for me, I love running. Running is like a thing for me. So when I get so frustrated or feel really resentful, before I do anything else, I put my running shoes on and I just go run. And I just run down the street and I just run as fast as I can to get the juices flowing, to get that exercise. And then I come back and I sit down in silence and I journal. And then that's where I do my self-reflection. And that's where I really look at what is it that is causing me this resentment? Is it because someone is not doing what I think they should be doing? Or am I projecting my own resentment towards myself or towards other things or situations going on in my life that have occurred that, I'm projecting that on to this person and it really has absolutely nothing to do with this person. Not everybody's going to like me and I'm not going to like everybody and that's okay. But I have love. I have so much love to give everyone around. Stephanie said, I find that sometimes I isolate for protection against forming expectations, no one around, no letdowns. Ooh, gosh, that really just hit my heart. I get that so much. Yeah. Isolation is such an easy thing, right? It's our comfort zone. For me, it's my comfort zone. So, there's a difference between solitude and isolation. I love my solitude. And I am so grateful for my solitude. Isolation, on the other hand, I definitely do that when I feel like the world in general is letting me down. And it doesn't have to be a particular person, place, or thing. It's just life. I feel like life is letting me down and I isolate and I don't want anybody around. And just like Stephanie said, I'm protecting myself, right? So it's my survival technique that I put that wall up, I isolate, and nobody has to be around. So I don't have to be let down. In doing that, I found that I was feeding my resentment. I was feeding my insecurities, and I was lacking in my growth. Like I wasn't growing by doing that. So years ago, I stepped out of my isolation piece by piece, like I keep my circle small. I have a small circle and I love it. I don't need a bunch of people around. And that's one thing that truly helped me with my isolation was finding my tribe, right? Finding those people that I vibed with and that are on the same journey as me, and realizing that I can have a connection with them and I can love them and I can have compassion for them and I can voice when I'm feeling frustrated or when I'm feeling resentful, right? And do that after I've done my self-care stuff, after I've taken the time to run and pray and meditate and do these things. Because with family, for me, it is so hard not to want to control family. It is so hard for me. And I'm talking whether it be blood or not blood, because family is family. It doesn't have to be from our bloodline, or it doesn't have to be from my bloodline. And so I find it so hard sometimes to voice things that I need to voice if I have not done my self-care, and voice them in a very respectable manner too, And Stephanie says, yes, I need solitude. It's delicious, but you got it. I'm talking about the big nope. Yep. I do get it. I so get it. And when I was able to come out of that isolation, I realized that because I didn't have once I came out of that, I realized not putting expectations on people. And every day, it's a daily reprieve, right? So it's a daily thing. This is just for today. So I'm not thinking about yesterday. It's gone. It's never going to repeat itself. And I'm not thinking about tomorrow because it's not here yet. So I'm thinking about this present moment. And when I am doing the things that I need to do to enhance my spirituality, and solitude being one of those, because that's how I grow internally and allow my internal temple to continue to build and grow and flourish so that I'm able to step out in the community and around people, family, with love and compassion. And every day I remind myself that I am not in control, that any expectations that I have of myself or of others, that my source, the energy that I go to, I need to give that away. And so every morning I wake up and that is what I do. Now, do I falter throughout the day? Yes, there are days where I falter because I'm human, and I will. But when I do falter, I immediately am like, okay, that was not how I want to live today. This is not how I want to work my program. So I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to take 5 minutes. I'm going to recollect and I'm going to come back out. Because each person has their own journey, and each person has their own higher power, their own source, energetic, whatever the case may be, and whatever it is. But I know for me today that when I hold expectations over anything, that I become resentful. So I go into today, just for today, with no expectations. And I go in trusting the universe and trusting the energies that be and the plan that is already laid out for me. I go in and I'm going in head first today because I know that I'm going in with love and compassion, and I also know that I'm going in with my cup filled. And so today, guys, I want to challenge all of y'all to do the same thing. I want to challenge y'all to go into today, fill up your cup, whatever that may be, and go out in today and be of service to others and be of service to yourself. And remember that throughout the day, if a resentment crops up, to take a few minutes and to, maybe do a verbal inventory or just do some inventorying with source and ask for guidance and redirection in your day. And let's not forget that we're all human and we all go through things, and we all deserve grace. Even through the resentments, even through the expectations, we all deserve grace. So that is what I leave you guys with today. And I love you all. And thank you so much, Stephanie, Todd, Pamela, for coming on and being interactive. Hi, Eric. Hey, Eric says, amen. Thank you, Eric, for coming on. For all of y'all for being on and just participating and having a conversation. I just absolutely love this. And, I learned so much from y'all. And I thank you guys for all of it. And I love you all. Please share on your pages, any groups that you have that you're able to share this with. Please do. Let's get the word out. Just for today is an incredible morning thing on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And it's been so beneficial for others. And I'm so grateful that Lisa Kay has, handed the torch down and, continue to just bring just for today through Promise Resource Network and just continue to bring the love and the light. Again, today is a special day. It is 111. So if you can, wherever you're at, I hope that you can just smile and you can make the day, go out and take charge of the day and make today the best day ever. And of course, Stephanie says, thanks for being here, Christie, with a little heart. Oh, I heart you back. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to sit with you guys and be vulnerable and, talk about things. It's just amazing. And I know that expectations are a huge one for me. because resentments follow. Expectation, resentment, then acceptance, and then letting go, right? So it's like that tier that we do. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. I hope that you have a wonderful Wednesday. Enjoy the weather. It's sunny and it's supposed to be like in the 60s. So yay. I'm so excited about that. Who doesn't love North Carolina weather? And again, this is brought to you by Promise Resource Network. Please, please, please share. And we love you all. And if you guys are around Charlotte, around the Plaza area, come out and see us. We would love to see you guys. So y'all take care. I love y'all. And I will see you guys again Friday morning at 9 a.m. for another episode of Just for Today. Mwah. Thanks, guys.